Welcome in, everybody, to the Michigan Basketball Postgame Live Show. It's all over at the Chrysler Center. Michigan beats Penn State by 4, 76-72, the final. And it wasn't pretty. They're not going to send this one to the College Basketball Hall of Fame. But in the end, Michigan prevails, and it wasn't looking like it was going to be a smooth ride in this one, watching the Wolverines play this game. But at the end of the game, where you want to play your best, Michigan went on a 9-0 run, ignited by Trey Donaldson, who made all of the big plays offensively for Michigan, whether it was a pass, whether it was a jumper from the elbow, whether it was a three, whether it was free throws. And, on the other side, he got a big defensive rebound late as well. And star of the game, Trey Donaldson, because this one, you had Penn State up by 5 with 2 minutes to go. And Michigan just was able to, after a timeout, come out and get a Roddy Gale dunk. Trey penetrated, sweet pass to Roddy Gale, who was on the baseline and went up for a jam. And then from there, that was it. Wolf had a block on the defensive side. He didn't have his best game, but Michigan able to get this victory over Penn State. They were supposed to get this victory over Penn State, and if you didn't watch this game, you'd be like, all right, a little closer than you thought. But it was with 2 minutes to go, Michigan down 5. You're thinking, and the Chrysler Center really, they said it was a sellout online before the game. There was really no emotion in the building until just like with a minute to go. They did, sense that Michigan was going to get the victory, and then it sounded like you would expect it to. But up to that point, I don't know if I blame the crowd, I blame the team. They looked like they were going to lose most of the game. So, you say, yeah, stand up and cheer for them anyways, get them behind them. But it's a two-way street there. You got the crowd feeds off the players feed off the crowd, and you got to give them something to cheer about. So let's go through this one. We'll give you the individual numbers. We'll look ahead and all those kind of things. Michigan needed a bounce-back game after losing to Purdue on the road on Friday. And this was game number 20 on the year, and they had Penn State coming in. And before the game, they say Vlad Golden is sick. Well, they didn't say he was sick. They said he was questionable. They told the broadcast crew that he was under the weather. And then it was like he didn't go through warm-ups. They had him sitting there watching warm-ups. You're thinking, well, if he's that sick, they're saving him, and they don't want to put him through warm-ups. And then he kind of, if you didn't know he was sick, you'd have said, wow, what's up with Vlad? He doesn't literally look like he's into it. He had one dunk, but he kind of looked like, now that you knew that he was under the weather, he kind of looked like and played kind of like he was under the weather. But Michigan in this game, they led most of the first half, and they got up by as many as 6, but Penn State came back, and they took a lead late in the first half, and it was tied at the break at 35 apiece. And then the second half, U of M had a run early, but then the Lions came back, Penn State with their run, and then all the way where Penn State had that lead that I talked about, up 5 with 2 to go, but then Dusty called a timeout. And that's when Michigan came out of the timeout, and you had Trey Donaldson penetrate. Nice dish to Gale for a dunk. You had Trey Donaldson coming back with a minute to go, and a jumper from the right elbow that made it a 2-point game. On the defensive end, Wolf comes up with a block, and then Trey Donaldson hits a three-pointer with 30 seconds to go. And that put Michigan up 74-72. So that's the big bucket of the game right there with 30 seconds left. Donaldson from downtown. And then Baldwin from Penn State. He missed a 3. Had a pretty good look at it. Trey Donaldson got the rebound. He was fouled with 4.3 seconds to go. And he hit them both to make it a 2-possession game and to make it the final that it was, 76-72, and that 9-0 run with 2 minutes to go was after Penn State had put up what I'm looking at it now, a 15-3 run to put themselves up by 5. And it looked like Michigan was in upset territory. But we know now that that did not happen. And now U of M is 15-5 on the year, and they move to 7-2 on the season. We're here after every Michigan basketball game. So if you ever have any comments where you watch and you want to talk about the game afterwards via messaging, you can. Like FL, who jumps in and says, wow, Donaldson took over the game the last 2 minutes. So promising. Nice wording. Nice phrasing. He did take over the game. It was the Trey Donaldson takeover game with 2 minutes to go. I couldn't have said it better myself. Fancy Lion. And it's a good thing that you're here to put it in the words like you did. Nice job. So let's look and see with the box score what stands out. And a career high from Trey Donaldson stands out. 21 points, 3 boards, 7 assists, 8 of 13 field goals, 3 of 7 from downtown, perfect from the free throw line, where Michigan didn't get to the stripe very much in this game. Michigan as a team shoots 48% from the field, 42% from downtown, just 9 free throw attempts, and they only made 4. And then the turnovers, they weren't bad, or numbers wise they weren't bad, but watching them, it was ugly. But in the final analysis, just 9 turnovers, single digits. They had 6 at the half. You can be just by the final number, you can look at it and say nice, but it seemed like all 9 of them were glaring, or you'd look at it. But maybe we're also focused in on them a lot now because this team, if they didn't turn it over like they have all year long, you would think, man, this team could really be something. And then when you see the, whatever you want to call them, sped up, lackadaisical, inexplicable, people always trying to put their finger on it. But overall, a good number there, and it comes with a win. Danny Wolf did not have a best game. 11 points, 9 boards, looks all right, but 4 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from the free throw line for the Wolf of Wall Street, along with 2 turnovers. Not going to get it done. Amari Burnett, he did hit some threes, 2 of 8 from downtown, 10 points, 3 boards, 4 assists for Namari. Roddy Gale Jr., 9 points. Roddy Gale Jr., this game right here, what if you watch this and just watched him, this is Roddy Gale Jr. in a nutshell for Michigan this year. He will make 4 or 5 plays that you'll say, this guy's an impact player, wow, and then he'll make 4 or 5 players and say, what is he doing? He plays out of control. Get him on the bench. He had the baseline jam. In the first half, he had a Euro step that you see in the NBA. He was running full blast, and he made it so quick with his move with the Euro, and then went to the left hand. I mean, it was a NBA move, fabulous. But then he was trying to, I don't know, he was trying to dunk. He took off from like the middle of the lane and came up short in a key spot. You can't do that. I mean, attacking the basket's great, but you got to know your limitations and where you're jumping from. But that's Roddy Gale. And then Vlad, under the weather, 4 points, 3 boards, and just 2 of 4 from the floor. He played 17 minutes. Let's give it up to Will Cheddar. He had 7 points, but Cheddar, it seems like we say this. We said it last year, and it's like you want to see him more. Now he got in foul trouble. He had 4 fouls, but Will Cheddar, open from downtown, you want to see him shoot. And Jones had 6 points for Michigan. Not much else on the bench for the Wolverines going through the scoreboard. Oh, that's how that looked. Let's get and look at some of the other numbers. And let's see, there's Michigan's schedule. And it was just last week before they had played Purdue. Michigan was sitting there at 11 in the Ken Palm rankings. But then heading into tonight's game, they had dropped to number 18 in the KenPalm.com numbers. Number 18 overall, and they were ranked number 5 in the Big Ten, the 5th Big Ten team in those rankings behind Purdue, Illinois, Wisconsin, and MSU. Let's check that upcoming schedule, and that is brought to you by the Maize and Blue Review. This feed that you're watching and listening to right now, why not give yourself or that UofM fan in your life the gift of the Maize and Blue Review for 2025? To do that, you might ask, I hear you saying that. How do I do it? Well, it's pretty easy. Go to michigan.rivals.com. You can get instant access. We'll see you over there. Let's look at that upcoming schedule for Michigan. And this is it for the month. They will turn the calendar. They will go out and play Rutgers coming up this Saturday in a matinee out on the East Coast. Then Michigan will come back and they will play Oregon at the Chrysler Center. That'll be a 6:30 start. I like those 6:30 starts. That's what tonight's was. And then Saturday, February the 8th, that's Super Bowl Sunday, right? I'm not mistaken. Well, if this Sunday, February the 2nd, is a week off of the championship games, February 8th is most certainly Super Bowl Sunday. Michigan, Indiana in Bloomington at 1 o'clock. And then look at this schedule. I mean, at Rutgers, Oregon, at Indiana, Purdue, at Ohio State, and Michigan State. Yeah, they needed this win tonight. Michigan doesn't win this game tonight, and, they're down 5 with 2 to go. You're looking at where are the wins for the rest of this? You can't just chalk up Rutgers. No, I don't think you could still. I don't know if you can chalk up any of these, but Oregon is going to be a tough game. Playing in Indiana is going to be a tough game. Purdue, we know what they bring to the table. At Ohio State, tough. And then MSU, the rivalry, on the 21st of February. That's the way it looks. There was some news today regarding Michigan hoops, and that had to do with one of their players that is signed up for next year, Trey McKinney. He was named a McDonald's All-American. So congratulations to Trey. Michigan's got Trey, and they've got Winters Grady, and then they got Oscar Goodman for next year. Those 3 players signed for the Maize and Blue. Fancy making a comment on Cheddar, said he had the offensive rebound tip to Donaldson in the last minute. It was almost unnoticeable, was huge. I like you bringing up stuff that not everybody sees there. Good job by UFL. They give you 1 second here. All right. We're in there. A little under the weather, I might be like me, and I can't say I'm like Vlad Golden in many things, except today I'm a little bit under the weather. So, but I bounce back, and I think I'll be just fine. A lot of fluids, taking care of it. And that's going to do it for this show. Michigan gets the victory. A lot of the game that was in question, even with 2 minutes to go. But then Trey Donaldson taking over and making big play after big play after big play. A pass, a jumper from the right elbow, a three-pointer, a rebound, and free throws. Any of those don't happen, we might be sitting here talking about and acting way different about this game tonight. But closing it out is the name of the game. Guard play, a lot of times, is the name of the game. And Michigan got both of those things with Trey Donaldson being able to do it, the star of this Michigan Penn State game tonight. And all right, so that'll do it until that next game that is coming up Saturday at Rutgers. We'll talk with you here, Maize and Blue Review, on after every Michigan basketball game tonight. It goes down to the book, 76-72. Michigan wins it. Thanks for watching, everybody, or listening, and we will talk with you coming up on the Michigan Basketball Postgame Live Show after Saturday's game at Rutgers. Until then, so long.